So I paid a grand total of £50 for this A500 Mini. I've never touched an Amiga before. To me, this just looks like a computer keyboard. So no doubt I'm probably going to get slated from a lot of people. I've been told it's like, you know, it's a clone. So it's a modern day version of it's like a copy cat of the A500 original. But it does just look like a keyboard to me. Comes with what looks to be, for me, an older looking Apple mouse and a controller. So it's going to be like emulation, right? I think, or something like that. So let's open her up. It is no power, so it'll be interesting to see. It comes with a nice little quick guide as well. So that makes me happy. So if I maybe need to question anything, then I can have a look in here. Seizures. Some people, about 1 in 4,000, may have seizures or blackouts triggered by flashes of light or patterns of color. Okay. Everything's pretty good. This is... Hold on. That's the... What? Okay. Now, you know, why is this the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life? Oh, it doesn't actually have button presses. I see. So this is literally housing a PCB for emulation, right? That's what this is. We've got HDMI. I like the retro looking colors that they've got on this. It's like that old sort of cream, isn't it? One finger's 4 digits. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Okay. This is what it looks like on the back. So we've got 3 USB-A ports. We've got a HDMI port and a USB-C. This is pretty cool, man. I like this. I'm hoping it's a rather quote-unquote simple fix because this is quite nice, you know? Let me just see if the HDMI is feeling good. Yeah, feels solid. Let me check inside. There's no bent pins or anything. And in here, nothing. I think it's, I don't know if it's no power. I think it just doesn't load on the screen. If I can recall what the actual fault is properly, I'll check in a second. Oh, the actual controller feels like what I imagine the original console was, which is cool. And that's just USB-A. So that plugs in to the back here. And then we've got a USB-C power cable. Pretty simple. And then you've got the mouse as well. So it is possible to have everything plugged in at once, I guess. Looks like, I don't know if it's been opened before, but this has been taken off. So let me just push that back. There was a screw under here, so I'm going to remember that for next time. So shall I just see if it works? I don't know. I'm imagining it will work on my capture card. There shouldn't be any HDC. I mean, if there's HDCP on this, I'll cry. Let me plug this in. And then I should just be able to use this USB-C from USB-C to give it some power. And then we can see here it does 5 volts. I don't think I have a light anywhere. Let me grab up the ammeter so we can see the exact current draw of this bad boy. So you can see up here in the top right, that is just loading. I might need to disconnect it quickly and plug it back in. Oh no, there we go. So it's pulling 5 volts and 16 milliamps. So relatively small. This to me looks so far, quote unquote, like fully functional. You know, I'll go over to my game capture scene. How do I turn it on? Is it like a button? Or is there just power to it like the whole time? You know? Oh, there's a button. Oh, I push the button. Do we have a change in current? Oh, we do. Look, 4 volts, 200 milliamps. Oh, there's a very small power button down here. Very small. Okay, back to game capture then. Any display. Whilst that's loading, let me check the original fault. Makes a chime when turned on, but does not start up. So what this is telling me, if I go to this is, ooh, okay, so we can tell a lot by this, look. This turned back off. So I'm just going to, what I'll do is I'll power cycle it again so we get a good idea, right? So I'm going to push the power button, 3, 2, 1. Let me hear the chime. I wouldn't say it's a chime. Maybe they're talking about on the TV. But can we see we've got 200 milliamps here? 5 volts. And it's going, it looks okay. It looks pretty normal to me, this part. Maybe this is some sort of boot sequence or a little bit before. And then it powers off. And also, what I will say is that the power light goes off. So this seems to me more than a HDMI issue and display issue. It feels like it's getting stuck in a boot and just shutting itself down or something along those lines. Okay, so let's take this apart. Do you know what? I can't lie. I'm actually really excited to look at this. I think it'd be a nice little thing to work on. It's a rarity as well, you know? I don't know if it's been opened. Maybe it's like a corrupt SSD or something, and we might be able to download some firmware or something like that. Calling this a no display isn't exactly wrong. I agree. Yeah. If you want to learn how to do this yourself, I've got a community over on School where I teach electronic repair the Joey way. Links in the bio. Go and activate your 7-day free trial. I'm going to go ahead and assume these have been taken off because they feel sticky. They don't feel sticky. I thought these would be stickier. And there's a screw under every single one. So I think somebody has taken this apart. That's my first guess. Are these the same screws? Yeah, looks like it, I think. Did it just snap? Okay, it just comes apart. Oh my gosh, look at this. This is incredible. So fun to work on. There can't be a screw under here. Really? Oh my gosh, there is. Okay, so there's a screw under here, which is also good. Do you know why? Why am I saying it's good that there's a screw under here? This to me does not like it's been opened. This screw. This sticker doesn't look like to me it's come up. There's no creases to indicate that it's come up. That's good. That's really, really good. Okay, So I should be able to take that off now. Yeah, I'm just going to see if I need heat here or not. Oh, lordy, 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 lord. I'm going to go with a bit of heat then. It's coming. It's hard because it wobbles, right? So I'm now having to... There we go, that's better. There we go. There's that screw. Right, put this somewhere where it's not going to get dusty. Dusty! Should be able to take it apart now, right? Be careful of any wires. It's the first thing. Now, I know it's plastic, but I see what they've done. Oh my gosh. So they've put metal plates to make this feel heavier. I understand that. I understand that because it does feel premium quality. I know it sounds weird. That's a clever move. That's a clever move. This, not so much. This is the small board. Look at this, man. Look how much plastic. This is the size of the PCB and this is the size of the actual housing, you know? Looks like, I don't know, that's factory by the looks of it. Let's take the board out. What's that? Is that the on button there? No, so that's just LEDs, right? Yeah, that's just LEDs for lights. So we can disconnect that and take the board out. Where's the power button? Oh, this is the power button. Okay, cool. So what we should be able to do, right, is when we take this out, we can test this outside of the chassis, which is really nice. Because it looks like just one simple button. I don't think this is going to require any heat sinks. Oh my, look, just as I say it, look at the cute little heatsink on this. This device is so cute. Lord Glove. Look at this. Look at this little heatsink. What, does it just sit on? Like how? Look at that. I really like this so far. So, just to clarify what I said, let's plug it in. I wonder if anything's getting hot when we go to turn it on. So if I just push it on, where's the LED? Oh, the LEDs aren't attached, right? And there's no single LED on the board either, because that wouldn't make sense. But let's just have a look and see if we get the exact same reading. Now it's out of the chassis, which I believe we're going to. It just kind of rules out any bending in the board or anything like that, right? Just to make sure we get the same error. I thought it turned on then. Okay, cool. So that is definitely not turning on. I'm just going to hold the power button and see if anything happens. Potentially we trigger like a reset or anything like that, because it could be something software related, of course. So I'm just holding that down and see if maybe if it turns on or still turns off. It does the exact same thing whether I hold it down or tap it. And now that I've just let it go again, I'll just wait for this cycle to finish though. What's your best advice to someone starting to do repairs? What you wish you told someone to do ASAP? Get stuck in and try not to think about things too much. And that's what I try and preach in the school, is just like, you just need to get started. You don't need all this fancy stuff. You just need a screwdriver set. That's it. And you just start taking apart old things and putting them back together. Things you don't necessarily care about too much. You take it apart and put it back together and just get used to the feels. That's what I try and preach to everybody. Try and get used to the feel of a screw, a tactile screw, and the ribbon cables, and take things apart, put it back together, and do that a few times. And then just develop and slowly take it step by step. Actually, should I get the... Let me see what happens when we put some... when we put a thermal camera over it, and we can just monitor for heat. See if there's any chip that we can then investigate, see if it's getting extremely hot where it shouldn't be, or where we think it shouldn't be, should I say. Oh, I need to press the power button. That would be good, wouldn't it? Okay, power on. Oh, what's this chip? Is this chip getting hot first? See that? Oh, it's getting very hot. I say very hot. It's 30 degrees. It could be completely normal. And then it's still that one. We've got a little bit of RAM getting toasty, but it's this chip by the looks of it. And it's just turned off. What chip is that? Let me turn it over. We'll do the exact same. CPU's getting hot. And we got... What's that? There's an area here. I bet that's where the thing is, isn't it? I bet that's where the chip is on the back. That's the CPU, which, I mean, could be completely and utterly normal, you know? I'd expect to get it a little bit hot. And then just turn off. Okay. I'm just going to zoom in on that area, because it looks like there's a cap missing there. Could be entirely wrong. Where's that area that I want to have a look at here? I'm not being funny. That, usually when you see an empty pad like here or here or here or here, you're like, oh, okay, it's fine. That looks to me like it may have had... Oh, I don't know, actually. I don't know, because this looks factory. This bit doesn't, though. So I'm going to say that that is quote-unquote normal. Could be that we have a dodgy cap here. We know that we get 5 volts in. I'm going to go ahead and say that this is going to have some sort of integrated graphics, right? And then if I turn it over, the chip that was getting hot, I say hot, but it could be completely normal as this one. Now, what I will do is quickly have a quick rummage around and see if we've got any explosions or anything missing that could potentially stop this from turning on. I didn't know there was a... What's that? Is that like a reset or something? That's a button. Missing or potential knock components. Bearing in mind, I'm not looking at where there's, you know, big solder blobs. I'm looking specifically for locations that where we might have missing components. Okay, so not any of these being empty is going to be our issue here. Okay, it's not our issue. But if you see any signs of corrosion or components that might look broken, feel free to shout out, because I miss a lot of things. I'll be honest, there doesn't seem to be anything visually obvious on the board. Only areas that were getting warm slightly was the back here, where we have this chip on the other side, right? Yeah, so I'm kind of intrigued to see what readings we get around this chip. It's going to be a tricky one, and the reason being is because we have power coming in. If it was like a If we didn't have power coming in, we could trace it. Maybe there was a fuse or something that was causing that. But the fact that it kind of turns on and then does nothing has me slightly concerned and worried. Now, I'm fully expecting low impedance here. What I'm not expecting is a short to ground. So that's 96 ohms. 4.7 that side. Ground that side. Okay. So again, all seems to be like A-okay. There's no resistors here as well where the air is getting hot where I can test. I don't know it is this though, because again, we get the power, right? It's almost like something happens after that. I wonder where and what the BIOS is stored on. So this is the NAND. Okay. I've got the data sheet here. Grounding my lead and just probing. So what do I get here? What am I meant to get here? It's a no connect. So I need, where's the voltage in? Voltage in, 12 and 13. So 12. What's VSS? Ground. So pin 12. So I get 3.3. 3.37. And that's on pin 12. You have to reflash the firmware, it looks like. New kernel needed. So I've just been linked to forum from Ben. This should fix the red light of death. Power on for 10 seconds, then off issue, so you might hear the music from the boot screen. There we go. Okay. All right. So how do you go about doing this then? There's even a, wow, there's even a video on it. No soldering is required to do this now. You can use the OTG virtual serial port. Do I need, maybe I need some like a reader or something, you know? Let me just double check. And you'll need to get to the fell mode button. Ah, that's going to be what this button is then. So this button here is fell. I should have, so what Ben's done is he's Googled the error, I'm imagining. And what I've done is I've gone straight in to try and diagnose some chips. So it might just be a firmware update. Oh, you need A to A apparently. Fell mode, it allows you to connect to the PC, USB A stick. The stick does not have to be big. The files are about 200 meg. You need to connect to A and then plug in the power cable to make sure it gets power. So I need an A to A. I don't know if I've got A to A. Well, I can still use a C to A because I could just power this and then just plug a A here, right? I've got USB A here. And I'll plug that into my PC, into USB-C. You need to be keeping the FAL mode button pressed and then powering it on by pressing the power button. And hold both for 5 seconds. Here we go. Pressing, holding. Okay, that, I mean, would assume it's on. I didn't hear it. Right, so it should be in new devices, right? Let's have a look. Yeah, Ben, I don't know if I can just use USB A to C, because that's what I'm using right now. So I've got C power, and then I've got A to C in my PC. I can't hear, Windows isn't detecting it, because usually you guys would hear it as well. You guys would hear my detection noise, but I'm not getting anything here. I've tried different USB. Hold on! Maybe it needs to specifically be this one. Ah. Bonjour, Rodney. It wasn't unknown device #1. It was just unknown device. Now it's unknown device #1. It says loading image, the ARM trusted firmware, the SSP firmware, U-boot, and Sun 50i, apparently. Yeah, it's doing something with the current. Hey, it's like there's a tiny little few hiccups there, whereas before it was completely stagnant. I know it doesn't necessarily look like much, but if I pull this, look, you can see little dips there where it's doing clearly some sort of read-write. 100%. And now it's on 52%. And that's just closed. And look at the, can you see the milliamps? We're at 240 now. I don't know if it's doing anything. Let me have a look. Once finished, your PC should have a new virtual serial port. Okay, I'm not going to touch anything. I'm going to let it do its thing. Can you see now? We just had a big spike and then a drop. Still looks like it's doing something. Maybe it's calmed down now. We're at 150 milliamps. I can't actually see if the LEDs are on here because I haven't got the stuff connected, so I don't know whether to connect it or not. I don't think I need the LEDs right now because it says you should see the green light. Maybe it is connected, or should it say something else, hey? Let me connect the LED and make sure that it's definitely a green light, because if it's not a green light, then we know that something's going on. Okay, it is a green light. Definitely is a green light. So I can just about see a change in the draw up here after writing those commands. A couple of prompts, which is, I guess, good. Wait for it to finish and then type sync. So now I type sync. Yeah, I can see it's doing something. Wait for it to finish now. Okay. I've got records in, records out, and now it's back to 0, but it's not really necessarily doing anything else. When I type that, is it doing anything? No. Let's plug it in. Plug in HDMI and see if we get an image now after all of that utter nonsense. Plugging in HDMI. We're about to find out. It's still at 5 volts, as you can see up here. Going over to our game capture. I'll also enable the overhead camera as well. And I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll go here and I'll go PLD, game capture, and I'll paste that here so we can keep an eye on the other stuff. Right, 3, 2, 1. Okay, 300. That was a bit higher than last time. 100. Is it going to bump up? 200. 200. It's very similar. Yes! Let's go. Official hacksaw. I am a programmer, guys. All right. Thank you, Ben. I'll save you from seeing all of this stuff now, but thank you, my guy. I appreciate you. I wonder if I can plug the controller in and just work. Hopefully it can. Also, I need to make sure it's got all the games and stuff. Let's go. Where's my pool cue? Okay. Is that me? Oh, I'll hold down A to move it. So like I tap here. I see. I ain't losing this, guys. I'll tell you that free of charge. Yeah, he has a free ball, but he's also on the black. You can move it on the black. Stupid game, as Steve would say. Good thing is as well, we don't have to apply any thermal pass. We can just we can just simply put it back together, and it should just be a case of putting the screws back nice and easy. Unfortunately, it wasn't much soldering and those sorts of things, but it was a nice little fix to talk through. All it took was a USB and some guidance. I'll put the link of that guide, by the way, in the description, just in case anybody wants to follow it. I'll put the forum link and I'll put the YouTube link. So am I right in thinking, I don't know if anyone's still here who could answer, but am I just right in thinking that this was something as simple as a failure with the memory? That's all, with the NAND. So maybe it just become corrupt and I had to rewrite it. Is that all it was? This would make a great like Christmas present or something, you know? Let's just make sure that it actually turns on and works. Like, it's got all the gubbins as well. It's got like the mouse. Everything's really good condition. This is pretty much brand new. You can't press the keys on the keyboard, unfortunately. That I said it was very cute. Still red light. Nice. Wow. What a nice fix. So I can look to box this up now and list it on eBay. I don't know what the pricing is for it. Somebody in the live stream chat was saying around about 160 new. If I can fetch 80 to 100 for this, what a cool little fix. It didn't take me necessarily too long. Maybe about an hour and a half, but, or just over an hour. But it was fun nonetheless, and we learned a lot. I downloaded a lot of new programs, let's put it that way. So the link, like I said, to confirm to the thread and the forum, I'll leave in the description as well as to the YouTube video that I was following whilst doing this. If you did enjoy this one, please consider hitting the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and as always, I shall see you in the next one. Peace.